I'm here with the one, the only Randy Couture, and we're at the Lock and Load event for the Xtreme Couture GI Foundation. Randy, it's exciting to see you.
Thanks, good to see you too.
All right, so tell us about the Lock and Load and tell us about the Xtreme Couture GI Foundation.
This year, the Lock and Load event this is our second year doing this event. Last year we were at the Boulder Pro Gun Club out there. This year we moved it to Clark County Gun Club. I've been to this gun club a few times. Every year at SHOT Show they have a big SIG shoot out here with SIG shows all their fun toys. So it's fun to come up here. Sometimes feels like you're driving to Utah, but it's it's a fun, great range here. They have archery, they have shotguns, they have long-range rifles and pistols. They have a little bit of everything out here, so it's a great place to have an event. They're very hospitable and they've got great facilities and take care of us. So happy to be here. We've been running the foundation for 12 years now. Started in 07. In 06, I went to Iraq and spent about 12 days on the ground with a bunch of our soldiers. And
wow.
In 07, I went to the hospitals in DC. We did a barbecue at the Fisher House, which is their version of the Ronald McDonald House.
Right.
Takes care of the caregivers, the moms, the wives, the dads that come kind of take care of their kids while they're going through that transition and getting fitted for prosthetics and going through surgeries. That was an eye-opener. Walking through the wards, seeing guys fresh off the battlefield, hearing the stories, the financial woes, cars in Hawk, losing jobs, losing, that process can sometimes take up to 2 years, 6 months to 2 years. Some of those guys have 20 surgeries before they're right again. So,
wow.
It was at that time I realized we needed to do something to try and take some of the financial pressure off these guys while they're in transition. So we filed for 501c3 status and started doing events with my gym staff here in Vegas area. Started with a motorcycle ride. We've been doing that for 12 years. We've done golf tournaments, 5K runs, a bunch of different things. We started doing some country concerts about 6 years ago, and that's been a big one for us. The Lock and Load is a newer one for us, and it's starting to get traction. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot like going golfing. You get a golf cart, you put your shotgun on the golf cart instead of your golf clubs, and you kind of go from hole to hole. You shoot four birds that, some roll across the ground, some fly that way, some fly that way. It's a lot of fun. We had a blast last year and looking forward to having a blast this year. Pretty good turnout, as you see. Weather's going to hold up. It's not windy today, which can affect your shooting with a shotgun. So I think it's just going to continue to grow. The foundation is growing. We now have a Pacific Northwest chapter,
nice.
Which is where I grew up. Patrick Crosby runs that chapter up there. Another friend of mine who's come to some of my events here in Vegas is running a chapter out of Quad Cities.
Nice.
We've done some events in Georgia. We've done some events in Missouri and Oklahoma. And I've done a bunch of appearances all over the country to benefit the foundation as well. But our other two chapters are the Quad Cities and the Pacific Northwest. So Affliction has been a big benefit to the foundation. We have the Freedom Defender series that sells like hotcakes out of the buckle.
Right.
And so the last 3 years that the Freedom Defender series has been on the market, we've had the best years. And when I say the best years, we've raised the most money. We're looking at, last year we raised about $200,000.
Nice.
And what we do is we go to the hospital. I've become friendly with some of the key staff at the hospital in Washington, D.C. And they help us identify those families that need a little financial boost, a little financial help. And we'll go out and sit down with those families, and whatever money we've raised, we're going to give all that money out. I'm proud of the fact that we're one of those foundations that 100% of everything that we raise goes into the hands of a soldier and his family. I don't have any overhead.
Right.
They're already my staff. They already work for me. They're my friends, my family. So they don't want any pay. They're already here, and they believe in the mission. So that's something I'm proud of. We don't have any overhead. Nobody gets paid out of this foundation, which is, you've seen the headlines with some of these other foundations where they're making 6 figures off of a charity.
6 and 7 figures off of a foundation.
Which is not how it's supposed to be. So, and that's frustrating for me because that makes my job harder.
Right.
We're trying to do the right thing for the right reasons, and so that makes it a little more difficult. But people are a little leery to contribute to something where they don't know where that money's going. So we're happy that, and I think it's going to be a great day of shooting today. I'm scheduled next month, the 12th, 13th, 14th, to go out to DC to the hospital and give out last year's money. So I'm excited for that trip.
And something else I want to talk about is that people, when they hear the stuff about helping GIs, well, I think a lot of them think, well, doesn't the government do all that? Doesn't the VA step in and take care of all these guys? But the reality is, sometimes that's not easily done.
There's too many of them.
There's too many of them, and
there's too many that fall through the cracks. And part of being trained as a soldier is to soldier on, to not ask for help, to not bitch, not complain, not moan, to just soldier on. And sometimes our training can be our worst enemy. So getting these guys to ask for help or let people know that they need some assistance is a big thing too. But there's just too many guys.
Yeah. And again, you mentioned this. It's not just the soldier; it's the impact that soldier has on that family. Whether it's male or female. Sometimes you have, you mentioned the fathers and the mothers trying to take care of that soldier, or the soldier is going to be in that hospital as they're going through those 20 different operations. They're going to be separated from their family for however long that takes. So it's not a simple, easy thing. Yeah, maybe the hospital portion is taken care of, but what about the family that needs assistance? Yeah. What about how they transition from the hospital back into the workforce? So there's that, like you said, that little crack that they sometimes fall into.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to contribute to the Xtreme Couture GI Foundation, it's xcgi.org.
xcgif.org.
xcgif.org.
Xtreme Couture GI Foundation.org.
And you can just Google Xtreme Foundation or even Randy Couture Foundation. You'll find it that way as well. And you have, any donation amount helps.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if it's $1 or $10, whatever it is. It all goes into the hands of a soldier and his family that needs some financial assistance.
And if you can't make it to an event, which they're awesome, you can, you want to buy a T-shirt, they're available there.
Yep.
If you want to sponsor, there's sponsorships there. Any way that you want to get involved, you can go to the .org and get involved. It's a great way to give back to the brave men and women who give so much to protect our rights and protect our country. So please go and visit xcgif.org.
That's it.
And give whatever you can. Randy, it's just so much fun being out here with you. I'm excited to participate. I'm excited what you guys do for our men and women.
Thanks. Let's see how you do with a shotgun.
I'm gonna probably miss them all, but it'll still be a lot of fun. But all right, guys, we'll catch you later.